Hello, everyone, and welcome to Tabor Talk. Boy, it's freezing. It's 22 degrees here in the Catskills. Wednesday, April 21st, and we got snow. It's actually still snowing here. So, getting right into it, obviously, fantastic news yesterday. Derek Chauvin, the murderer, murdered George Floyd, was found guilty on all three counts. It's likely that he'll spend the rest of his life in jail where he belongs. So, great news for everyone in the country except for the right wing deplorables and Fox News. We all know that Tucker Carlson and Sean Hannity and all the deplorables were pulling for Derek Chauvin. It's sick shit, but it's the truth. So, I'm going to play a clip here from David Pakman. You'll see Tucker Carlson losing his shit like a crazy man after the verdict. Watch this.
This is one of the strangest clips from right-wing media from the reaction to the Derek Chauvin verdict. Tucker Carlson had an apparent psychotic break during a segment last night with a former New York City corrections officer, during which Tucker started maniacally laughing in a way that was reminiscent of Jack Nicholson's Joker from the Batman movie, and then abruptly ended the segment and kicked the guest off of his show. And much of what Tucker...
Even actually with Joaquin Phoenix, the Joker, that was a better Batman. Not bad, better Joker, sorry. If you haven't seen that movie, holy shit. What an incredible movie. I just watched that fairly recently, like a year ago. Oh, I digress. Let me just finish. The Joker, Joaquin Phoenix, Tucker Carlson.
Does on his program in general appears to be acting, and Fox News lawyers have even said Tucker does entertainment. He's not like literal news. But something about this
just a pause one more time. So I've stopped interacting with the deplorables right after the election. I'm done. I've looked at my Facebook memories, and it's just what a colossal waste of time interacting with these vicious, ignorant deplorables, Trump supporters. So things are starting to change. Things are looking better. Here we go. Continue on.
As the real Tucker. Tucker seemingly unhinged. Let's take a look at the clip. Tucker's interviewing Ed Gavin, former New York City corrections officer. The former corrections officer said, listen, Derek Chauvin used excessive force on George Floyd. Tucker Carlson just loses it. Look at this.
I just think that it was excessive and it shouldn't happen. And what I'd like to say...
The guy who did it looks like he's going to spend the rest of his life in prison. So I'm kind of more worried about the rest of the country, which, thanks to police inaction, in case you haven't noticed, is like boarded up. So that's more my concern. But I appreciate you coming on, Ed Gavin.
What a sick, twisted fuck.
Done.
Thank you. Done. So
isn't that something? If you thought that
these deplorables watch Tucker Carlson. I mean, I was the other day I was looking at a thread I was having with this guy and how their heroes are, the Tucker Carlson and Sean Hannity and Rush Limbaugh. He's gone, but don't interact with these people. You're not going to get through. Save your grief. I know I have. Continue.
Gates' interview was weird 2-3 weeks ago because of Gates's behavior. It was nothing compared to Tucker's behavior last night. What do you think this is about? Like, is this that Tucker maybe senses that the Chauvin verdict is part of their grip slipping away?
That's exactly
maybe a
it.
new era of accountability being ushered in. That would be great. I don't think that's actually why Tucker is behaving like this. Was Tucker planning on running video of violent riots from Minnesota last night, and there were no violent riots, so this is what he came up with instead?
That's exactly
One
right.
cop found guilty, and Tucker is instantly off his rocker. It's
that Fox News was waiting for that, right? Look at the left-wing Antifa, blah, 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 Black Lives Matter. Look at how they're behaving. He was disappointed. Here we go.
Weird, and the laugh is particularly unsettling. But also
just an
kicking
awful
the
person.
guest off when you supposedly run a show that's about discussing ideas, even when your ideas might conflict with somebody else's. It's bad enough. And of course, this gets us back to the really consequential piece of all of this, which is that there are so many people who watch Tucker and they take him seriously, and they take his show seriously, and they take his perspective seriously. You and I might see this and say, first of all, how can anyone watch this and react by saying, wow, this seems like a good place to take my opinions from? But there are people who will react and not think that that's a completely unhinged person. And for many people, sadly, shows like Tucker Carlson's are the only input that they receive to form their view of what's going on in the world and in the United States, and that's a really scary thing. Now, one other note. This isn't the only time that Tucker has sort of broken like this. There was that incident, it feels like it was maybe a year and a half to 2 years ago, when Dutch historian Rutger Bregman, who's been a guest on this show, you can check out my interview with Rutger on our YouTube channel. Rutger Bregman was interviewed by Tucker. Tucker didn't like the direction the interview was going. Rutger was clearly not laying down for Tucker Carlson. Tucker went nuts attacking Rutger Bregman, swearing at him, and then refused to air the interview. We only found out about it because fortunately there was a recording that was released, so we were able to see it. But between that and Tucker's reportedly losing it at his own country club on an employee or some other guest,
Yeah, he's a real bad guy.
Story up. My sense is that the 20 seconds I played for you here of Tucker both furious with his guest and laughing maniacally in a way that seems completely divorced from reality, that I believe is the real Tucker. That
Absolutely.
I think is the closest we get to the real
I'll end
Tucker.
it here. There's only like a minute left. I'll put it in the comment section here. So there you go. Tucker Carlson, real piece of shit, out of his mind. Just an awful person. All those, Sean Hannity too. You know, they're very smart guys. Tucker knows exactly what he's doing. He's just an awful person with no morals. All right. On that note, it's freezing. I got to go in. Look at this. I got layers of clothing here. Good friends, good books, and a sleepy conscience. Peace, love, and understanding here in Tabor Talk.